reality. Hold on. PSA, kids, don't put things you pick off trees in your mouth unless you bust their skin. If you bust their skin, then you're opening up their chemical inlay into your innards, and that will become an outlay. Imagine this is what Steve-O did. A black widow, here's a tangent, he put it in his mouth, but if he would have started shooting the black widow, it would have released the poisons in the black widow. The same with the snake. If a snake is knocked unconscious, you can do this with a dart. You shoot a dart at a lion or a snake and it becomes unconscious if you have sedatives in it. And so if the snake's unconscious, you start chewing the snake's head, you're going to release its toxins and its venom hits, and then breaking that skin, you will then undergo the same effect if it injected you with its fangs. What is controlled opposition? I am mentioning this on Earth is because in an entire factory, there's workers in there who know what would a meltdown be in a catastrophic cataclysm to make the whole place go haywire. And yet it would be at the forfeitude of a liquidation because the product would be at its freest form. Now it's hard to understand the collapse because it's horrific, A, and B, no one does it because it's equal to crashing an entire market, to undercut all your colleagues, to retire early. That's done in a binary form because people who work for firms in the marketplace, they run off binary computer code. That's what all Wall Street, with those computer numbers flying around, if you've ever been to actual Wall Street, inside of it, it's just all these computer numbers flying around. That's a binary form. The physical portrayal of that is what I just explained in a liquidation of a factory, which all the factories are the bulk makeup of the trade deals. Wrap all this up together, and Ron DeSantis, just because you are teaming up with Elon Musk to perpetrate yourself as cutting edge to get a leg up on people who don't know better, you're not, and it isn't. If you don't want to hear anything about politics, shut the fucking camera off, right? Shut the fucking computer down right now. There's Donald Trump, and then there's a guy called Ron DeSantis, and this guy is in Florida. He's a governor. He's spoken about going against what people on the left would say, such as forcing vaccinate people in order to make everyone safe. Hold on to that piece of information. Just because he said that, it looks like he's in opposition to Donald Trump, the one person that money can't buy. When you're a politic and you're going for a president's seat, Donald Trump is the only person who has not ever taken money from an establishment party. Politics has a giant party, and some of these parties are doubled with what markets are. Anyone who works for a firm trying to sell something, did you get any sales today? Did you score any leads? Or did you crash the market to undercut everyone to retire early? These are things that a lot of people do once they get their degrees and they feel like they're more entitled than people who don't. but it's really so risque because it's those 3 questions that I just got done answering, which their entire career is dedicated to. Which to me is child's play, because you can liquidate an entire market with one supply chain collapse. And then inflation, the president will make trade deals and have a military complex, shovel a whole bunch of money into a war like Iraq and Ukraine, where that just gets funneled back into these DC parties that give money of super PACs to candidates every 4 years. The DNC, the RNC are beacons that allow this complex. But back to Ron DeSantis. So he was against vaccinating people. In Florida, he said, you're not going to get vaccinated if you don't want to be. God bless that statement. But this guy has accepted a whole bunch of money, and this is where he's controlled, even though he's in opposition. Harmony, there's a repetition in a thing called the chorus. You can't get around it. It's in 98% of songs. A fulfillment in harmony is where it's really close to Christianity. There's a guy, I don't know his name, Martin Luther, probably it, and he said like the second utmost is harmony to music with the getting close to God. There's something in rhythm that has to do with God, and it has to do with God because there is a wave function in half of reality. There's particles interacting, and there's a probability of what their outcome is, and this is what is called a wave function. I'm telling this to you because it's the cutting edge of half of everything that is in time, in real time. But when you die and you get killed, being put under dirt, time ceases to exist, and so does your reality.